Chapter 1: A New Dawn. The sun rose over the small town of Forks, Washington, illuminating the quiet streets and revealing the silhouette of a young girl walking along the sidewalk. Her name was Aria, a transfer student who had just arrived in town a few days ago. Aria was different from the other girls in her school. She had an aura of mystery and a deep, enigmatic gaze that seemed to reach into the very soul of those who looked into her eyes. She was also gifted with a unique ability, one that she had learned to conceal from the world. As Aria walked, she couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The town seemed to be hiding something that was just beyond her grasp. She felt as if she was being watched, as if someone was following her every move. Suddenly, Aria heard a rustling behind her. She spun around, her hand instantly shooting to her side where her knife was hidden. To her surprise, she saw a beautiful, dark-haired girl walking towards her, a warm smile on her face. "Hi, I'm Bella," the girl said, holding out her hand. "Welcome to Forks." Aria relaxed, sheathing her knife. "Aria," she said, returning the smile. As they walked to school together, Aria couldn't help but feel that she had just made a new friend. Bella was kind and friendly, and she seemed to be hiding something too. Aria felt as if they were two puzzle pieces that fit perfectly together. At school, Aria found that she was the center of attention. The other students whispered behind her back, and she could sense their fear and mistrust. She didn't understand why they were afraid of her, but she knew that she had to be careful. As the day went on, Aria learned that Forks was not as peaceful as it seemed. There was a darkness lurking in the shadows, a darkness that was older than time itself. Aria soon discovered that she was not the only one with a unique ability, and that the town was home to creatures that defied belief. She had never felt more alive. A new dawn had arisen, and Aria was ready to embrace it. Chapter 2: The Mystery Unfolds. Aria was sitting in her history class, trying to concentrate on the lesson. However, her thoughts kept drifting back to the strange events that had transpired in the past few days. She couldn't shake off the feeling that something was not right in Forks. Just then, Bella walked into the classroom, her face pale and her eyes wide with fear. She hurried over to Aria and sat next to her, looking around nervously. "Bella, what's wrong?" Aria asked, her voice low and concerned. "I just saw something," Bella whispered, her eyes darting around the room. "I think I saw a vampire." Aria's heart raced as she realized that she wasn't the only one who suspected that there was something strange going on in Forks. She knew that she had to get to the bottom of this mystery, and she was determined to find out what was happening. After school, Aria and Bella decided to do some investigating. They scoured the town, looking for any signs of the mysterious creatures that Bella had seen. As they walked, they encountered strange symbols carved into the trees and buildings, symbols that Aria recognized from her studies of ancient cultures. Finally, they stumbled upon a hidden entrance to an underground lair. They hesitantly descended the staircase, their hearts pounding with fear and excitement. They found themselves in a dimly lit room filled with strange artifacts and ancient texts. As they explored the lair, Aria and Bella discovered that the creatures they had suspected were indeed real. They were part of a hidden society of vampires and werewolves, creatures that lived in the shadows and kept their existence a secret from the rest of the world. Aria was amazed and horrified at the same time. She had never believed in the existence of such creatures, but now she was faced with the reality of it all. She realized that the town of Forks was far from ordinary, and that she was going to have to adapt quickly if she was going to survive. As they left the lair, Aria and Bella were filled with a sense of unease. They knew that they had uncovered a truth that would change their lives forever, and they were unsure of what the future would hold. But they also knew that they were not alone in this, and that they would face whatever was coming together. Chapter 3: The Battle Begins. Arya and Bella had only been back from their underground investigation for a few hours when they noticed that something was amiss in the town. People were disappearing, and strange occurrences were happening more frequently. They knew that it was only a matter of time before the town was in full-blown chaos. Arya and Bella decided that they had to act quickly. They gathered as much information as they could about the creatures that lived in the shadows and formulated a plan. They knew that they were outmatched, but they were determined to protect their town and its residents. The night of the battle arrived, and Arya and Bella were ready. They were joined by a group of unexpected allies, including a young man named Edward who was unlike anyone they had ever met. He was a vampire, but he was different from the others they had encountered. He was filled with a deep sense of compassion and a burning desire to protect those he loved. Together, they faced off against the creatures that threatened their town. The battle was intense and lasted for hours, with Arya and her friends fighting tooth and nail against the forces of darkness. But in the end, they emerged victorious, their town saved from the brink of destruction. As the sun rose over Forks, Arya and Bella were filled with a sense of pride and accomplishment. They had faced their fears and come out on top, and they knew that their friendship and bravery would be remembered for generations to come. However, the battle was not over. Arya and her friends knew that there would be more challenges to come, and that they would need to be prepared for anything. But for now, they were content to bask in their victory, knowing that they had just been a part of something truly special. A new dawn had arisen in Forks, and Arya was ready to face whatever the future may bring. Chapter 4, A New Threat. For several months, the town of Forks was peaceful. Arya, Bella, and their friends thought that the battle was over and that they had secured the safety of the town. However, they soon discovered that a new threat had arisen, one that was even more dangerous than the creatures they had faced before. A powerful vampire named Victoria had arrived in town, and she was on a mission to destroy everything and everyone in her path. She was filled with anger and hatred, and she would stop at nothing to achieve her goals. Arya and her friends knew that they had to act quickly. They couldn't let Victoria destroy their town and everyone they loved. They gathered together and began to form a plan, determined to stop the powerful vampire once and for all. The night of the final battle arrived, and Arya and her friends were ready. They faced off against Victoria and her minions, determined to protect their town and the people they loved. The battle was fierce and lasted for hours, but in the end, Arya and her friends emerged victorious. As the sun rose over Forks, Arya and Bella were filled with a sense of relief and joy. They had faced their fears once again and come out on top, and they knew that their town was safe once again. However, the victory was bittersweet. They had lost friends in the battle, and they knew that they would never forget the sacrifices that had been made. But they also knew that they were stronger because of those losses, and that they would continue to fight for what was right, no matter what the future may bring. Arya and Bella stood together, looking out over the town of Forks. They knew that they were not alone in this, and that they would face whatever the future may bring, side by side. They were ready for anything, and they were determined to keep their town safe for generations to come. Chapter 5, A New Dawn. The aftermath of the final battle was a time of healing and rebuilding for the town of Forks. Arya and Bella helped to restore the town to its former glory, and they were happy to see that life was slowly returning to normal. However, Arya and Bella knew that the battle was not truly over. There would always be new threats to their town, and they would always have to be ready to face them. They continued to train and prepare themselves, knowing that they might have to fight again at any moment. Despite the challenges they faced, Arya and Bella remained optimistic. They knew that they had each other, and that they had the support of their friends and the residents of Forks. They also knew that they were making a difference, and that their bravery and determination would inspire others for generations to come. Years passed, and Arya and Bella grew old. They never forgot the battles they had fought, and the sacrifices that had been made, but they also never forgot the joys and the love that had filled their lives. One day, Arya and Bella sat together, watching the sun set over the town of Forks. They were content, knowing that they had done what they could to make a difference, and that their legacy would live on. As they sat there, arm in arm, Arya and Bella knew that a new dawn had arisen. They were ready for whatever the future may bring, and they knew that they would always be there for each other, through thick and thin. If you like this video, please give it a like and share. Subscribe the channel for more amazing stories.